Welcome, welcome to Sisterhood Check-In. I am your author and life and beauty coach, Nadira Lewis, and I am so glad that you guys decided to join me today, Friday. You guys could have been doing anything else, so I don't take it lightly that you guys continue consistently supporting the Sisterhood Check-In broadcast. Thank you so much. If you are listening to us on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. If you are watching us via Facebook, Periscope, or Instagram, make sure you click like and share if you have already been blessed by the content Sisterhood Check-In has been providing. I'm excited because today I kind of got a special guest today, and I'm excited to talk with this particular person. I tried to upload their little video, but it's just too big of a load for me to be able to do it. So we're going to take a moment while I'm going to try to work on it, see if I can still get it uploaded so I can show you some of the work that they have been doing. But I'm excited to be able to introduce to you guys who may be new to some and very familiar to others, my son, Christian Bryant. Hey,
Hey,
Chris! You are on Sisterhood Check-In. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm getting used to seeing you, over here in your own little place now. You're not home. You've been gone for a little while. And so
Yeah.
now you get to grow up and do your own little thing as a young adult. So I'm pretty excited for you. I can't wait for us to kind of dialogue today on the broadcast. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship and some of the things that we went through in order, some of the processes that we went through. I want us to talk about that. But before we do that, Christian, I always
Mhm.
start my broadcast. Would you share with us a little bit about who you are and how you got to where you are now, Christian?
Okay. So my name is Christian Bryant. Pretty much I'm an actor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a day trader. The way I got to where I was at, it's kind of like a long, funny story, but pretty much just to kind of shorten it up. I've always had entrepreneurship around me and pretty much in me just from the influence in my life with my parents and just different people that was just around me in general. So pretty much it was a journey. I would definitely say that for sure. As far as getting to where I'm at, but definitely consistency and dedication and just hard work is where I pretty much got to where I'm at now. So
Yeah, definitely. Share with us, because I think those that are entrepreneurs understand the struggles and the process that it takes for us to maintain a life of entrepreneurship. What are some of the things, because because me and your dad were both entrepreneurs, so you kind of picked up that entrepreneurship from your parents. What are some of the things that you've learned from your parents in terms of entrepreneurship, and how has that helped you on your journey now as an adult?
To be honest with you, one of the main things is the consistency behind it. Like, especially like even now throughout the time that I've learned is that like if you want something, you want to be successful in what you're actually pursuing, you have to stay consistent no matter how hard it gets, no matter the ups, the downs, like there's going to be ups and downs. Like during my process and journey, like, and my mom can even vouch for this. Like I've talked to her numerous times, like, mother, like, what should I do? Like, should I go and leave? And she gave me like so much advice on like, Christian, like you have the tools and material, just go after it and just pursue it. So like main thing is for me was that consistency and that drive. To be able to have that drive and to pursue what I actually wanted and know, what I want. That's really the main and first thing is to know what you want before you actually go after it. Because the last thing you want to do is kind of like be lost on, what you're pursuing.
I agree because you have to have a strategy in order to go into entrepreneurship. And along with that strategy, you have to have a a mindset to follow that strategy, because there are going to be some days that things are not going to always go the way you want to, and you're going to want to give up, and
Yeah.
you're going to want to just throw in the towel and say, this is not for me. Has that
Mhm.
happened for you to become an entrepreneur? Because you can let our audience know you've been doing this for a while now on your own without
Yeah.
working a job. You are doing this full time. Talk to me about how that's working out for you.
So I have been doing it full time. It's been since what, 2015?
Yes, wow.
Around that, like 5, 6 years, somewhere around there. So pretty much, I mean, like, I don't know, like it's been hard. I will say that, but it's like it's worth it at the end, you know. So
Mhm.
like, I don't know how to really explain it, you know.
Yeah.
It, I don't know how to explain it. I just know that the main thing for me is like it's been the freedom for me, like you said, the mindset for sure. Like, what's
Mhm.
helped me is the mindset, because it's like the days that I do feel like this, that I want to give up. It's like, I've had thoughts. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has these thoughts to where it's like,
Everybody has thoughts.
why not just go back to the simple life and just not really like simple life, but the easy life where it's like, I can go back and get a guaranteed check and not have to worry about where is the money going to come from. But like for me, it's the freedom for me. That's what keeps me going and drive.
Mm,
Where
mm.
it's like they said, like, once you step out fully, you're never going to want to actually go back, because you start to experience that freedom and that schedule type of thing. And that's where the way the world is going at now too, anyway. So it's like, it's becoming more of a normal thing to like create your own schedule. And, so for me, the motivation for me was I wanted to do other stuff. I wanted to kind of travel. I wanted to pretty much like just kind of dip into other businesses and just do different things in general. So it was the freedom for me, and when I learned that I couldn't control the freedom at the time that I was working on 9 to 5, that was the time that I realized, like, all right, I have to really step in faith and trust what I'm actually doing is going to work, because of the fact that, this is what I've been working towards. So
Yeah. And I've watched you literally plan, and I didn't even know you surprised me when you said, "Hey, mom, I'm going to move out on my own." And I'm thinking, what, fast? Like that, wow, that was a trend. You kind of moved in silence. But I love the fact that you took not only the skills that we showed you, but you took the skills and you applied it in your life, and you applied the skills that we didn't say verbally. You watched a lot of our actions. What were
yeah.
some of those things that you did? Because you and I have talked about that a couple of times. What are some of those things that you've seen me do that may have contributed to your success in entrepreneurship?
Always find a solution, no matter what. That's literally like the main thing that I have learned, even back from when we was in Florida. Like when I remember when we was in Orange Park and you were doing the mentorship program in person. It's
Mhm.
crazy. Now everything's virtual, but we was doing it in person.
Yeah.
So it's like, during those times where, you had to find marketing, like a way to market yourself and to be able
Mhm.
to expand and grow as a business. Like the main thing that I took from like that key points in just a lot of areas of, your life is just find a solution. You have to find it, make it work pretty much. And it's worked for me even throughout this time to where, especially with everything going virtual and different
In
strategies, it's worked.
broadcasting. Yes. Out. I'm sorry. That was your brother. He's interrupting the broadcast. Okay. I'm sorry, Christian.
Yeah, no, so like pretty much just finding like different like ways to create, in other words. So yeah.
Yeah. And then in my earlier days of entrepreneurship, I had to really be creative, because we didn't have a lot of the tools that we have now. Back then you really had to grind, like
Seriously.
for real. You had to really grind. We didn't
Yeah.
have all the stuff that the digital stuff, like what we have now, where you don't even have to leave your seat to do some of the things that we had to get out. I
Mhm.
remember when your dad started. Your dad was writing ads on postcards and sticking them up,
Yeah.
on trees and putting advertisements in newspapers and on sheets of papers and stuff like that. And I look at now how things have changed, where now everything is digitized. Now, I mean, you don't have to really do anything. Now it's just about creating content and being
Yeah.
faithful with the content that you're creating, and then being consistent with it and being able, and it's almost like, even when, like, I was listening to Gary Vee, and Gary Vee was saying, oh, you have to put out like 100 pieces of content a day. And I'm thinking, oh, I failed that already, because I'm just, I could barely get, 3 to 5 pieces of content out, because there's so much going on that keeps our mind busy, that it's hard to really focus. You really have to strategize,
Yeah.
in a different format. So tell us a little bit about, well, actually, before you do that, I'm going to go into a quick commercial break. And then when I come back, I want you to talk to us about what you do now and how you're helping everyday people, like even your mom, like everyday people like me, with what you do now, with being at such a young age. I really want to hear more about that. So for those of you that are just coming in, this is my son, Christian Bryant. He too is an expert. We've been discussing some of the things about entrepreneurship, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. All right, and we are back with Daily Trades with Chris. My son, Christian Bryant, as he continued to share with us some of his experiences in entrepreneurship. Christian, we left in the first part of the segment where you were getting ready to talk about what you do. Now, you've talked about some of the things that you've learned and some of the mindsets that I and your father has been before you. Talk to us about what you do and how you help people like me, who has been an entrepreneur first, expand our income.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much I'm a day trader. Everybody knows about trading now, which is
not everybody. So you might have to kind of, explain. Not everybody it knows what that means.
Okay. So pretty much I invest into the stock market. I deal with current currencies pretty much. I also deal with crypto currencies as well. Pretty much what I do is trade and invest into these different companies and different currencies as well to basically make money on a daily basis. So with that being said, I actually teach people how to actually do it. I have a step-by-step program online on my website, so where pretty much it will break down like everything to the exact T on like what you necessarily look for, where to get into the market at, how to invest, what particular patterns to look for. So that way, like when you're actually going into these different companies and just trading in general, you'll know like, you have the proper risk management size as well, and know exactly like how to play the market in general. And then also too, I do one-on-one sessions. So like why you get access to the online course, we pretty much actually break down like on the, like basically what you learned in the online course. And then we go over those live examples and even do live trading setups in the one-on-one sessions. So that is what I do.
Wow, that's awesome. And you've been really good at helping me. I've been not doing it as long as you, but I have watched you and seen how successful things have been for you, because this is all you do. This is and you live in a very prestige area. And to be able, and it's an encouragement to me sometimes when I feel discouraged, because I look at you and I think, wow, he's a reminder to me that it's capable, that that I can do this and continue to do what I'm doing, because you're walking out what you saw in the mindset in my life. And it's amazing watching you. You're doing really well, and I'm so godly proud of you.
Thank you.
What was some of the, how did, I mean, why trading? Why trading now? What is it about trading that has really captured your attention and caused you to say, this is where I'm gonna go and I'm going at it full speed?
Mhm. Well, like one of the main things is like, I mean, especially like coming out of high school, like, in the beginning, my main thing
Mhm.
was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And when I found out about trading, pretty much,
Mhm.
it like, because we would talk to a certain extent like, in school or whatever about like stocks and supply and demand and all that.
Yeah.
Um, like, and everybody like at the time knew like get a or invest into the stock market. Like at that time, it felt like it was untouchable.
Mhm.
So like trading, the reason why I chose the route of trading was because of the fact that I seen an opportunity in there to where not only obviously can I make a lot of money from it, but like, I also seen the aspect of like as I started to do it that there was freedom with it that came along with it, but I was able to control my own income, and that was my biggest thing. I didn't have a cap on how much I was actually getting paid or who was actually paying me. And worst case scenario, even if it didn't get to the point where it's at now, as far as
Mhm.
like us being able to physically like do it from the computer and phones, like I knew that like that particular industry in general was going to make me a lot of money in general. Like that's why I chose it. I was like, I know I'll be financially set regardless of you know
Mhm.
like I tell the people at the banks what to invest in. Like I just knew that like I would be financially set doing it in this way.
And it's amazing because I remember the day when you called me and you said, Mom, I'm going to make that transition to full time entrepreneurship. And
Yeah,
I'm scared. You was like, I put in my 2 weeks notice. And
yeah.
I remember telling you, Christian, you could do it. You've been doing it. You can do it. And you were so terrified that day that when you called me, you was like, should I leave early? Because
I was
I really don't have
extremely
to stay. And I was
yeah.
like, Christian, stay until the very end of the day because you want to. Part of entrepreneurship is learning integrity. Integrity is what you take. What people don't understand is that what you learn on the job and
Mhm.
the skills that you learn plus the personal development skills like
Right.
integrity,
Mhm.
you need to take all of that into your business because what happens is if you leave in a bad way, you're kind of reaping that same thing. You're going to wind up reaping that in your business, and you don't want that to happen. And so
Right.
I remember you were like, "Ugh," you would count down the hours, and I was like, Christian, stay there until the end, because if anything ever happens and you have to go back, you need to be at a place to where the door is open and you can go back if
Mhm.
you have to. Or these people could be potential clients of yours. They might see. And I tell you, I remember when you clocked out, you were so excited. You even clocked out a little earlier than you were supposed to. I think it was about 30 minutes or so an hour. You just couldn't hang on. You
I hope
clocked 30 minutes and you almost practically ran out of that place.
I hope the old boss isn't watching, but I definitely was contemplating on leaving early, like really early, because I like I don't want to kind of put this in my life, but I knew a certain time after things kind of calmed down that it was okay to leave and whatever. But I didn't. I stayed, like you said, for the integrity. Even though I was extremely nervous, like, I knew like it was the right step. I was extremely happy, but after like the first week or so that I done, I was like, I'm okay. Like I know I'm good. Like I did this because I know I'm good. But then, when rent came, I was like, oh wow. You sure this is the right decision? I don't know. It was like, I don't know what I just did here. Like, I don't know if this was the right decision I should have made at this time, or it worked out. Everything worked out to where everything was okay, and I realized that wow, like I'm waking up when I wanted to. Working when I wanted to. There was no restriction on what I wanted to do.
And people don't understand that it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, you're
Yeah.
always going to have that point where you're going to be like, oh,
Mm,
because at a job, and this is some of what I've explained to your other siblings, is that when you're working on a job, you're learning skills for free. You
Yeah.
know, there's
There's
certain skills that you're learning because in entrepreneurship, some of those skills that you have at your job, you need to be able to package that and bring that with you. I was listening
yeah.
to somebody on YouTube, and they were talking about how their business, and they do consulting, and they were saying that all the things they learned now. I mean, they didn't. Nowadays you don't even have to go to college for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in terms of marketing in this day and time anymore, because
Yeah.
marketing is ever changing. Even as you learn what you think you've learned in the last hour, it's going to change in the next few minutes, because it's
Yeah.
always changing. So it's not like before where you can go to school for marketing and go back and Bella, I'm broadcasting. I'm broadcasting.
I'm watching your video.
Okay, you watching my video? Okay,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
can see you recording.
Okay, thank you.
I
She's watching Sisterhood check-in. That's so
I'm
cute.
watching you while you're recording.
Okay, thank you. So what I realize is that before now you have to kind of learn on the go because things are forever changing. And
Mm.
so now most of the time is it's like spent catching trying to figure out what the next move is, how
Mm.
to do things. But with you've been able to take some of those skills, like integrity, because now with you dealing with finances, that's huge. Have to carry that same integrity. So that's why some people don't understand. They just think, oh, I don't want to be here. I hate this job. I hate this. I hate that. But sometimes, and there are times when our jobs are frustrating, when you're working a 9 to 5, it can be really frustrating. But if we can shift our mindset to realize that we're here to perfect or even to gain a skill that may help us, especially if you're dealing with customer service. I think customer service in this day and time stinks. I think it
Oh.
sucks because customer service is not about people anymore. Customer service is about what's convenient for me and not for the customer. So
Mm.
sometimes even in a frustration, and you have those human moments where you just want to just go off on people and just and really give it to them. But and sometimes you have to in order to set folks straight. Sometimes you have to really give it to them because if not, some
Yeah.
people will walk all over you. But
Yeah.
I remember you as a kid. I want to talk about that. When you were a kid, you were
Man.
selling candy in middle school, asking me, because you asked me, Mom, could you buy me a cell phone? Nobody was having cell phones at that time as kids. And what did I
Nope.
say when you asked me to buy you a cell phone when you were in middle school?
You told me no. You said no. So I was like,
But tell
and
why I said no. Why did I say no?
you said no because the lesson behind that was to basically, again, figure out a solution. And I never forget this, that when you said no, your words were this: grown means on your own. I never forget those words. And I remember where it's like if you do something basically like you had to go and work for it. So I
Mhm.
realized like, okay, no, you got me in something before, but then you said no this time. So it's like, I had to learn how to say, hey, okay, I wanted this, so now I have to work to get it. You know,
Mhm.
so I
Mhm.
bought me that first bag of candy, that jump started it. And you told me if you can sell all of this candy, you can get the phone. And I sold all the candy in like a day, and then went to grab
Yes.
the phone and started paying for the minutes at the time, and went on to keep up with it.
I knew
So
you. I knew there was something on to you when you were selling people coupons that are already in the store. When I saw you selling the little 50 cents off coupons that were, remember the little pull coupons and stuff?
yeah,
You were pulling the coupons and selling them to people. And I thought, how are
mhm.
people falling for that? How are they falling for you buying the coupon? I mean, you really literally have to be blind or stupid, like to literally. But then I realized that you had learned the psychology of persuasion, and
Mhm.
you started to realize, wait a minute, hold up, this is good. I know I'm on to something. I'm able to persuade people. I'm able to, even though this coupon say 50 cents off, somewhere in their mind, you got them to convince they were going to get more than that 50 cents. That's when I knew there was on to something. And you did that for quite some time, because I've never had to pay your phone bill, because you, from that point on, all I had to do is invest in the bag of candy for you. And I did that because I wanted you to understand, that saying is always true, that is that saying about teach a man how to fish, he eats for a day.
Mm-hmm.
And teach him how to fish, and he'll live, forever. And I still feel like that. I still feel like there are some things that we have to learn. We have to get out there and fend for in order to be able to get the skills that we need in order to do what we need to do. Because everything, it's great if you have parents that can give you everything. That's great and that's wonderful, as long as with the giving that they're giving you the lessons that come with that. So in our case, we had to kind of learn on the go, and we had to kind of learn entrepreneurship in a much different era. And so it's really kind of helped us. And sometimes I say to myself, like, you know what, Nadira, I've been in a lot worse case situations in a different time frame and made it. And God provided, and he made a way because of my entrepreneurial skills. And sometimes he would give me ideas. Like now we do email lists, I remember graduating from skincare class and going into business with my own products. And I remember going to the colleges and going to health fairs, collecting emails, and had no idea that it's crazy. It's almost like everything repeats itself. Like it's almost like it repeats itself, collecting emails and stuff like that. And it's like now you could just put up a landing page and just create emails. Like it's crazy. Which is why I started, when you and I were talking, and I said, you know what? I figured out that thing that I'm really good at. And I thought, you know what? This is the direction I'm going to go. Because now with me, I felt like I've always been the one that have been able to help people through different mindsets and through different transitions, because it does take a mindset to get through certain things. I don't think about David. David was being groomed. When nobody else was around, he was being groomed, learning how to take off bears' head, learning how to kill bears and lions, because he had those moments of solitude where he got to practice and really pretty much, even with him depending on God, he had to have a certain mindset to be able to accomplish the things that God said he could do, which is why he was able to look at the Philistine and say, yeah, you said this, but, you're not going to talk like this about my God. I'm going to do this. He had such confidence because of his relationship with God in the secret places. And I think sometimes when I think about some of the things that we've gone through, we've had to be very creative in trying to make things happen, because I knew that I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship. So I knew that I had to make sacrifices, even as a mom, to pursue entrepreneurship so that you guys would not suffer. So it was really good. I look back and I think, wow, God, you really taught me some stuff, because you guys were off the chain. But you guys have always been good kids. You've always been really respectful, really good, and really even through some of the hardships and that we've gone through, how we would make them into teachable moments, and always had an attitude like, you know what, we can get through this, and God did. He saw us through a lot of those things, which is like nuggets for us nowadays. What was that like growing up, seeing some of the things that we've gone through and seeing me trying to pursue entrepreneurship? How did that really affect you? Like, did that make you feel like, oh, did you have moments where you like, oh, because you guys didn't get all the brand new Xboxes and PlayStations. We had to wait till you guys got the next generation when the next generation was coming. So what was that like for y'all? Because y'all were doing some stuff. You, Adam, and Jeremiah, y'all was creating the Bros show while I was over in the other room working from home. And I had to tell y'all to be quiet. Hush. Hush.
It's crazy, because at that time when we were doing that from a resemblance from iCarly back, like when that show.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about it is because when we were doing that, and when that show was back from when iCarly was taking place, that actually was way ahead of its time, because that's what we're doing right now in today's time with YouTube, live broadcast, a lot of that is way, way ahead of time. So like a lot of it affected me because of the fact that it's like it taught me to pretty much to keep going. Like no matter how hard it gets, no matter how down it get, like it taught me the consistency behind it and always to keep trying. Because I remember like no tomorrow during those times where it's like it didn't matter, like, you know, with 4 kids, it's like you always made it work. You had a positive attitude about the situation and you just trusted God and you just realized that, like, you know, you're gonna work towards what you're trying to pursue and let it play out pretty much. So yeah. I learned to keep going and not to stop at all, you know.
And entrepreneurship was not something that I thought that I would ever go toward, see myself going towards. But I
Yeah.
found myself through different times in our lives. I started to realize too, I knew I wanted to be able to be home with you guys, because I think the number one thing for me is I did not want to sacrifice parenting you guys. I didn't want to spend so much time working so many, even though I did go through a moment where I worked 2 jobs and I went to school full time,
Oh wow.
and I come home and I remember Preach broke her ankle, in school. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. And I can remember thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this day? But I remember as things were just climbing in my brain and causing me to just give up. I mean, I was on the brink every day of just feeling like I wanted to give up. But there was
Yeah.
always something on the inside of me. I looked at you guys' faces, and you guys were like a source of inspiration to me. Like, keep going, because if I don't keep going, if I give up, then there's no hope for them. So
Yeah.
because they can't defend themselves, they can't do for themselves. So that was, I think everybody has to find their sense of motivation. And I
Mhm.
even now, I see, like, when you're teaching, even us in your group, you're so patient, and sometimes I probably would have just screamed if it was me, like, "Rawr!" But you have exhibited such patience when it comes to teaching trading, because it is very tedious and
It
it can
is.
sometimes be super overwhelming. But you manage to stay calm, and you always say, "Mom, just don't overthink it." I feel like you almost becoming my parent. I feel like all my patience went to you now. Now you just so patient and just like, la 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 la. Okay, mom, it's going. And it's like you're always in strategy mode. Like, you're always in. I could be like, man, Christian, I need to do this and I need to do that, and you be like, okay, mom, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we go. You kind of remind me of me when, in my earlier entrepreneur days, which is why when I mentioned earlier about becoming a coach, why it was something that I wanted to do. I remember Preach had given me like this little thing, and it was saying, figure out your gifts or whatever. And when I realized it, I was like, wow, this is so natural for me, because I did it without even knowing that that's what I was doing. I was just doing it. It just became so natural. So I think with me and some of the things I do, I think the biggest struggle for me was even in the area of coaching. It was trying to figure out, how am I going to create these courses? I know how to sit down and talk to people. I know
Yeah.
how to walk them through, but
Mhm.
to not be, to kind of go beyond just, exhausting yourself with
Yeah.
trying to coach every single person for free, too, at that. I had to learn too that, from one of my mentors was like, okay, Nadira, you telling too much, because I started to feel like I'm going to tell everything. I just want everybody to just, and then at the end, I realized everybody was applying the things that I was sharing them with them. And they were benefiting financially. And I'm like, hey, I felt like a kid in the dirt, kicking and
Yeah.
screaming, like, wait a minute. So it's amazing that even through this process, I started to think back and say, you know what, Nadira, this isn't new for you. What is new for you is being in a position to say, you know what, because I did other things. I did skincare. I love skincare. I still
Yeah.
love skincare. But it's just like I had to say, you know what, let me figure out another way, because I don't have as much time as I used to because of your sisters now. They're gobbling up all my time, even now. And so by the time I'm done, I'm just ready to just close the computer and go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I started to figure out, I say, you know what? There's a lot of people like me that have a desire and a vision to do something, whether it's coaching in areas of finance, real estate, health. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do something really unique for them. And so that's when I created the Done For You coaching courses, which means now I can help other people that desire or already is a coach and saying, hey, you know, I don't know what to even teach. I don't even know what materials to bring. I don't even know. Now I can provide them with help and say, you know what? So if you guys are aspiring coaches or if you're a new coach and you struggle with creating course material or even courses, period, you got to go to my website and look and check out my Done For You coaching courses because it's amazing. I mean, this will take all the hard work out of what you do, as coaching so that you can spend all of your time with your clients, being good at what you do while all the technical stuff is already in place to help them on their journey. What are some things that you've done in trading to kind of help? I know you have a group that we're in and you kind of give signals. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so like some of the things coaching wise that I do is like I sit down with the person one on one to give them my full attention. So that way, like and especially like in the beginning, if you know like absolutely nothing about it, like it requires a little bit more time for it. So like, I go through like different examples, scenarios. Sometimes I give screenshots, notes, and different things that you can kind of look back at, and then I add you to a group. So that way, like while you're actually learning, you have that opportunity to basically like go like in a live setting when I actually send it. So like times that we're not in this session, I'll normally like send it inside of the group so we're already learning. You'll see that same chart and pattern that you learned, on Tuesday session. So that when we come back on Thursday or Wednesday or Friday, whatever day that we set back schedule for it, like we'll go over that example and then we'll look for new examples that basically helps you proceed, in the future. So that way, like you're aware of what to look for. It's repetition, pretty much. But I like to give everybody like the full attention that's needed, so that way you can learn that skill and be able to like use it. What helped me, because the whole point is, even though I'm coaching you, like is to learn the skill, so that way you don't necessarily need the mentor, but you may go to the mentor and say, hey, what do you think it is? And you will teach me something from what I taught you and may know it better than me. So that's what the whole goal is for sure.
So what are some realistic, like when you're sitting down with people one on one, what are some things? And you guys can go to Christian's website, Daily Trades with Chris, to sign. He has a beautiful website set up. He's gotten good at this stuff. I'm telling you, he's a pro. He's definitely a pro at this. This isn't no thrown together shabby stuff. He's really put the time and the energy and the work to really set this program up. Go to Daily Trades with Chris and sign up with Chris so he can teach you how to trade. He teaches ordinary people like me how to trade, and you don't have to have a lot of money, right, Chris?
No, not at all. Not at all. You don't.
So. Yeah, because I have been able to. You have really helped me and still helping me. I know sometimes I can be a pest. I'd be like, Christian.
You got to be patient with it. It's like learning a new language. Sometimes when you're trying to learn that new language, you want to know it so bad to the point to where it's like you communicate and interact with other people. But it's like if you don't understand what they're saying to you, you may know the language, but you may not know what they're saying.
It's like risk management. It's really like risk management, being able, and that's what you shared with me, is that because I've seen you help clients go from $80 to $1,000. I thought, holy crap, what the heck? And it's funny because you've really changed my mindset, especially with the XRP, I remember you were like, Mom, buy XRP. And then we were like, oh, wait, we can't get in. And it was amazing because on the media, in the news media, everybody was talking about how, they're suing XRP and not to get into XRP. And you were saying, hey, on the other side, like, down, this is when you need to buy it because it's going to. It's funny how you can predict because I
Yeah.
remember you telling me Bitcoin. You said,
Hmm.
"Mom, Bitcoin is going to go up to $50,000 in February," and I thought that's kind of pushing it a bit, because I think it was like at 27,000 in like January. It was like 21 or 27 or something like that. And when you
3-ish.
said 50,000, I thought that's a strong prediction, but look at where Bitcoin is now.
Yeah, yeah,
It went to 51,000. I remember looking at it and I thought, holy crap. And it's
yeah,
funny because I only had like a little bit of money in the Nexo. And I looked up and I was like, what the I
yeah.
mean, I was just like, just a little bit of money. So I really enjoy that. You don't really need a lot of money. You just
Mhm.
need you give suggested amounts to help people be able to successfully achieve the desired amount that they want. And I love it because you do one-on-one coaching. So you're not only in the group giving signals, you're
Mhm.
coaching and saying, okay, guys, this is what you need to do, which is different. Unlike there's a lot of different types of programs out there, trading programs and platforms. Do you have any platforms that you suggest, for trading, or which platforms do you suggest when starting out in trading?
When starting out, like broker wise and stuff, I
Mhm,
do recommend KOT. KOT is like a platform to where it has high leverage. So like
mhm,
trades, like especially now, like with more people that's coming into it,
mhm,
people are like leaving. There's like regulated and non-regulated brokers. So more people are leaving from a regulated broker, which is like TD Ameritrade,
mhm.
E-Trade, these different type of brokers that are here in the US to go overseas to brokers like Hugo's Way and KOT. I use KOT. I would say
Yeah,
KOT.
yeah. I heard
And then
about KOT from Esther. I told you Esther told me about KOT.
yeah,
And I like KOT. I think it's, based on the time frame that we've been using it, I like it. I actually like it.
and you can use that's where you can use less money to basically make more money, and vice
Mhm,
versa. Get more money, you can make even more money because you have that not only the risk management and the rules to basically go by, but you
mhm.
have that leverage to basically increase what you would have never made like here in the U.S. compared to lot sizes and all that. But that's like when you get into trading and stuff.
I like the
So
fact that you teach the basic skills of
hmm
helping people understand terminology in trading, because that's
hmm
been the thing that has been. I will look at the screen and go, "Oh no, that's just too much." You remember the first time you was like, "Mom, you really need to look at this," and I saw the screen. I was like, "Oh, that's just too much. That's just too much. That's just too much showing." I thought you were going to be in front of your little humongous screen that you have with your trading, so that we
uh,
can get a sneak peek and see what your day is like on a day-to-day trading. You should have been in your room so I could show your big screen so we could see, make you look really nice. But
I had to
you
get the lighting set up, so it wouldn't never like.
know, I'm the same way, Christian. I had a set area to use, but apparently the lighting is just not working there. So trust, I understand. Trust, and I understand. I really
Yeah.
wanted to show your video. I really wanted to show your video with the acting because I thought the little skit that you did was amazing. With you, Preach, and Jeremiah and Adam, and you guys did like a little skit thing called the
Mhm.
Hacker. I thought that was amazing. I'm gonna see if I could try to. I'm gonna see if I could try to pull it up because it's almost like when you got a good connection, you almost be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to mess up the connection. So I'm gonna try it and see
Okay.
if I can bring it up because I thought that was pretty good. You've been doing some acting and stuff like that. So talk to us a little bit about that while I try to bring up your video.
Yeah, so with the acting, pretty much, I do acting. I've been doing it for, actually, to be honest with you, right around the same time I've been doing trading, pretty much.
Hmm.
So yes, it's been some time. But I started professionally doing it about 3 4 years ago. Like going on set, being with these different actors that celebrity wise that are there too as well. And then also like produce my own movies and short films and just films in general.
Yeah,
And the one that if you are able to pull up, that is one of the ones that we did shoot and edit as well, and pretty much just put it out on social media just for it to kind of get some plays or whatnot. but yeah, so that is what I've been doing on the acting side. Even on that, it's still the same thing. Like
Mhm.
with me being able to do the trading, it's been giving me the freedom to be able to actually do that. Like when I'm not doing my trading, and a lot of people don't know that. Like I have like two lives that I live. Like I have my business side with the trading, and then I separate it, and then I go to my acting side where it's just straight film. So like most people don't know that, unless you actually know me, like, oh, okay, like there's two things that's going on,
Yeah.
so
And you've been,
yeah,
I mean, here in Atlanta, Preacher's in California,
yeah,
and she's been doing really good. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch her and slow her down and tie her seatbelt around her to be able to get her to come on.
yeah,
She's always working. Preacher's gotten to California and been hitting the ground running with
yeah,
working, which is a great thing. I'm so proud of her. She's been doing, she's got that sun-kissed glow. I told her, I said I was going to come, maybe you can go with us, but we're all going to go to California to visit, probably, during the first spring break, that they have. I really want to go there because I've actually never been to California. So I'm kind of excited to see what California is like. It's some of that nice sunny sunshine, Californian feeling and stuff like that. So I'm excited and looking forward to that. But we have a lot of people that have been commenting, Christian, and I want to go over some of these comments. But before we actually go through these comments, I want us to take another quick break, and we can be able to go through, we'll be able to go back and continue talking about your job doing acting. So I want you to kind of talk to us about where what you're doing in that area right now. But we will be right back. Thanks for you guys that are watching. We're going to read all your comments in the next session. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Refugees, dirty immigrants, asylum seekers, job stealers, that is what they see. Beautiful faces, thick accents, a melting pot of culture, holding 3 to 4 jobs, back pocket of hopes and dreams, seekers of opportunities, that is what we see. I am Georgia Lawrence, the founding attorney of Georgia Lawrence LLC. I was born and raised in Jamaica. I migrated to the United States with 2 suitcases and $200 to seek a better life. I understand firsthand the importance of having a fighter on your team to navigate the complexity of the immigration system. Hence the reason I chose immigration and human rights law. Here at Georgia Lawrence LLC, we take pride in connecting our passion and purpose to your plan. Give us a call today.
What's going on, guys? It's Daily Trades with Chris here. I'm hosting a 7-day webinar for you to understand how to trade the stock market, futures market, and the Forex market. This one particular trading strategy has 3 steps, okay? Very, 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 very simple. All you have to do is look for a trade, place your trade, and watch your trade play out. In this 7-day webinar, I'm going to be going over exactly how to get into the market, where to get out of the market, where to set your stop loss, take profit, and you're going to have a risk management rule in place too as well. Now, this Z trade, in fact, just dropped 400 points on oil. If you do the math on that, that's about $4,000 just from one contract. If you want to learn how to make $4,000 in one single day with the Z trade, respond back to this email right here. Comment below in this video, and I'll get back to you with all the information that you're looking for.
Okay, we are back with my son, Christian Bryant. And I'm telling you, Christian, I'm over here cracking up laughing every time I watch that video with you, where you start talking about, you have that finger, and you like this one. It's funny because me and Adam be laughing. We be mimicking you. We be like that one finger. Oh my gosh, you look so professional. I just want to just grab your cheeks and go. See, y'all done all grown up now. Y'all don't like it when I kiss y'all no more. Jeremiah runs away, and Adam just stands there and looks at me like I'm crazy. The only one who like my kisses, even Priest, she like, she just stood there like, oh God, just hurry up and get this over with. Just hurry up, Ma. I don't want to hurt your feelings. Just hurry up and get this over with. Bella McKinley, the only ones to be like, oh, mommy, oh, mommy, you know. But so we are going to go through some of these comments, some of the comments before we talk about you and your acting. So, so far, Raven says, I miss y'all. Hi, Raven. Oh, we miss you too. We miss you too. And then we have Carrie Franklin says, I remember him being a baby. Oh, yes, Carrie. He has grown up. He don't have them little diapers running around the house no more. Then we have somebody's Facebook user says hi. Make sure you guys click give StreamYard permission to be able to show your face, or I won't know who actually made the comment while we're live on camera. One person says, oh, then another person said, I was born from a winning mother. Yes, yes. Khadija says, hey, Deej. And this person says, never give up. Absolutely. You can't give up. This is not the time. And it's almost like sink or swim. It's either you go to, that's really the shift you have to make in your mindset. Like if you really understood what it's like to sink and what is, you would automatically choose swim any day, because you don't want to sink, because I know it's like me, I don't want to feel like I don't want to give up. You know, I don't think anybody naturally wants to give up. Certain circumstances cause you to feel like you want to give up. But if you just get in that extra little oomph, or reach down and find that extra little bit of strength to be able to do it, sometimes you have to say, God, I need something to hold on to keep from giving up. So yeah. Person says, keeping God first. Yes, absolutely. I don't think we would have made it in our mindset without keeping God first. There's no way I could have done this, or you. Yeah. There's no way. All of you guys are entrepreneurs. Every last one of y'all. There's no way we can do entrepreneurship without keeping our heart and focus on God. Absolutely no way. This person says walking in the blind is a waste of time. Yes, strategy. And I think they were referring to us talking about you have to have strategy when you're transitioning from working a job into entrepreneurship. Absolutely, yes. And Raven says, miss y'all. Raven, congratulations. Christian Raven just got married. Congratulations. Oh my God, I remember you were like kids. Oh my God, y'all just all grown up. Yeah. This says, I love freedom, 39 years strong. Ooh, wow. Yes. You've been doing entrepreneurship for 39 years. That's a blessing. I think most of the main entrepreneurship, doing the actual job, is not the hard part. 90% of I say 90% of entrepreneurship is mindset. I say 10 to 20% is really strategy. Sometimes we're not always, it's just keeping our mind in the right headspace during different transitions of entrepreneurship that makes it difficult. This person says, find and work the solutions. Absolutely. Most people don't understand that entrepreneurs were problem solvers. And if we were to look at entrepreneurship from the aspect of solving a problem versus creating products around what we want and what we think other people want, you have to kind of look in the pool of problems and figure out what problem am I going to solve? Because if you want to make money from what you do, you have to solve a problem, or you're going to be spinning your wheels, because people pay for solutions, and you have to be a a person that can resolve solutions. And so sometimes you have to look at stuff that we think of entrepreneurship in terms of what we want. Let me build this product or service. I learned that in doing my skincare. That was my biggest mistake I learned in doing entrepreneurship was, I'm going to start a product because I like skincare. But when I did it like that, it didn't really do too good. But when I started to find a problem and I started to hone into that problem, I started to carve out niches that I can go in where I didn't have any competition. And I was there by myself because I was looking for problems. And we have to do that as entrepreneurs. We have to be solution seekers,
Right.
This person says, what is it exactly that he does? Okay, Christian, you want to answer that?
Yes. So exactly what I do is I invest in the stock market. So that is my bread and butter when it comes to my income. And then I also am an actor. That is something that I'm also doing as well. So I am an entrepreneur, I'm an investor, and I'm an actor.
It's a lot for a 20. How old are you? 24, 25? I always
25.
wanted to say that. I always wanted to say that because my mom always says that to me. Well, how old are you? You like how old? I said, I want to see how that sounds. How old are you? Like 40. This person says interesting. And then this person says, during the pandemic, how have things been for trading? You want to answer that, Christian?
Yes. So things has been, to be honest with you, and I was just getting ready to tell one of my students this a couple of days ago. This year alone, when it comes to trading, probably in my years of trading has been the most volatile as far as the most to actually trade. So it's been a lot of ups, it's been a lot of downs, but it's definitely for sure been very lucrative and actually very um, like, to be honest with you, it's probably been the best year of trading, in my opinion. Even
Okay.
though what the news says and all the media, I think this year, and especially last year, was like the best year of trading. So yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. And this person, Antoinette says, good evening or good night. Good evening, Antoinette. How are you? And this person says she's watching because she's going to be in your spot, Nadira.
Okay.
Yes, Bella Joy is definitely a YouTube. Let me tell you something. She's already said to me she wants to start her own YouTube channel. I'm scared. She knows so much. I told you Shalinda sent me a text that what Bella said to her that she's sneaking, and she said to Rosie, she says, I told her to go to bed, and she says, she texts Rosie and says, I'm gonna call you when my family goes to sleep. No, you not. I'm like, you already learning how to sneak. So Shalinda sends me the text and says, this is what she just texted Rosie. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch your little behind. Learn patience while working for others. Absolutely. You have to learn patience. There are some good things, there's some benefits, there's some pros and cons to working for other people. It depends on your mindset and how you transition through those different difficult times. And every situation and every day is not going to be the same. There are going to be some days you're going to be able to push past it and say, you know what, and then there are going to be some days it's going to be hard and you're going to have to really say, okay, you know what, I really need to hold my goals before me because it may get discouraging. So yeah, you definitely have to exercise patience, and it's human to feel frustrated, at a job, because most people are they're looking at a job as a way to express or to be appreciated for their value. And you're never going to get that. You're only on a job, you're only as valuable as the information or as that particular position requires. Anything outside of that, anything extra outside of that is not going to really make a difference to them unless it's going to enhance the position that you're in. Other than that, it's just going to be that. It's just a position. You're being fulfilled. You're just a person that's physically fulfilling that position. So they're not concerned with your value outside of that position. So yeah, that's how you have to be patient.
Mhm.
So sweet, selling everything, candy and all. Yes, honey. Let me tell you, Christian was selling that candy, boy. I wonder if you went to do that now, if you would make good, if you good. You can't go nobody sell no coupon now. And they look at you like you crazy. They be like, what? What the heck? You had a grace for that time because I'm telling you, that wasn't gonna happen. And this person said they remember that. Yeah.
Wow, who that was that said they remember that? That's weird.
I can't really tell because they didn't give StreamYard permission. You have to
Yeah.
click on the StreamYard link to get permission so that we can see who's commenting. Other than that, it'll just come up as a Facebook user. This person, he was so cute. Yeah, he was a cutie pie. He was a cutie pie. And he's still a cutie pie. We say that as if you're not cute now. Humble, yes. You're very humble, Christian. Very humble. Tight. Right. Shawnee says, hey, cousin. That's my cousin, y'all. Hey, Shawnee. All right. Then we have one, last but not least, Antoinette said, that's amazing. I've always said that I am a solution kind of person. And that is so true, because you have to think like that, because especially if you're going into entrepreneurship, you have to. Yeah. Like I said earlier, we can't go into the mindset of what we only want. We should go in with what we want, what we're going to allow ourselves to solve. So you can choose what solutions you want to solve, but you should never go into entrepreneurship with what you want, because you're not the potential customer. You're not the paying client. So you can't, and it's funny because, unless you're going to be spending, you're not going to really make money if you're basically putting the money back in. You're not really making money. So we have to be intentional with looking for ways to solve problems versus just trying to just pick out things that we want to do. And now we can develop a comfort level, and we can get comfortable with doing or solving a solution and saying, you know what, I like doing this. I like solving that, and build, and be excited while you're doing it. But yeah, we should never start out with what we want, because we're not the ideal client. We have to figure out who we're serving, and that takes research. And sometimes it takes a minute for you to figure that out. How did, and I know you're doing so many things. I look at you and I'm like, I don't know how you're not stressed, because just trading alone, that would stress me out. That's too much thinking. Like, you be having clients yelling at you and screaming at you, and because everybody be trying to make their money quickly. Everybody going to trade in, want to make $1 million off of trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Like, everybody coming here, they coming in with like $500, and they like, all right, Christian, help me make $1 million. Out of this $500, I want $1 million in like a week. Have you had clients like that were like pushy and were kind of like demanding, like, hey, I want to make this money in like 2 days?
Right. All the time, and I tell people, like, you gotta remain like patient, like, because the thing is, I like help people pretty much set a goal and achieve the goal. Like, I ask everybody that comes in, what is your goal that you're looking to make? So I can know to help you achieve that goal, but then I'm also help you scale from that goal. So if you already have a goal in mind, it makes it a lot easier. And even if we create a goal, it still makes it easier because we reach those targets, just like we have different goals in life. Everybody wants to buy a house. You got some people that want to, do different things at their different stages of life. I break it down in that aspect, so that way it makes sense. So that way, whether you're putting a lot in or putting a little bit in, you're still able to actually scale what you have. So yeah.
Trading is about strategy, right? It's about, is it mainly about learning different strategies? Because I know there's a lot of different softwares, a lot of different companies that talk about trading. What I think really what I've learned, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I've learned that most of trading is just learning strategies. If you can, I basically, when I trade, I use your strategy because it's the only one I know. And, there's too much sometimes. There's some of these strategies on top of other stuff. I ain't got that much brains, but I ain't got that much space in my brain to hold all those strategies. Like, what you have a particular strategy that you use. What is the name of that strategy? You want to share with us the strategy?
Z-Trade, pretty much. And like, what the strategy is, like you said, there is a lot of strategies that are out there that works. It's just creating the strategy to work for you. That's really is you create a strategy that's going to work for you so you can make money. So that's what the whole name of the game is.
I like your strategy because it's simple. It's not a whole bunch of techie stuff to it. Golly, I don't have no more time for techie stuff. I'm usually a very techie person, but some of these strategies is like, oh my God. But your strategy is very simple to understand, and you explain it and you break it down in your course. You break it down in your course and you make it simple for the average person that has never traded before to understand. And that's the part that I really like. And then not only that, you give people the opportunity to make money while they're learning trade by being a part of your group, which is amazing because sometimes when I get up in the morning, it feels wonderful for you to be like, all right, guys, good morning. It's going to be a good day. You give a lot of motivation. It's going to be a good day. And then you start out giving signals, should I say. You give out signals for people to, and you it kind of allows people to practice putting in the entry points, the profit loss, and the take profit. But it's like sometimes, is it really necessary to really like panic? Because every time you send those signals, I'll be like, every time you send those signals, I'll be like, shh, be quiet. I'll be like, hold on. All of a sudden I go into like a panic mode, trying to put those numbers in. Is that something that we should be doing, or is it that, you got a couple minutes, because I'll be about to panic as soon as I'll be like, oh my God.
So I wouldn't say panic, that's the last thing you want to actually do, but I do think the quicker, the better, because a lot of the stuff that I send, a lot of the trades that I'm sending usually happens within like 15 to 20 minutes. So when I send trades, like you have time to get in, but like the faster you're able to get in, the quicker you can get your profits. And then the quicker you're going about your day, it doesn't interfere with it. And you don't have to worry about trying to like sit there all day to get a trade or to look for a trade. So, if you can get in quicker, you can get your profits, you'll be good, you make money, you can go on with the rest of your day.
I love that you've done something new with your trading, that you talk about your robot. You have implemented a new thing about this robot. That's like the new thing now. Talk to us about this new service with the robot and what that does.
So basically, I created a trading robot to pretty much trade for you. Because how long I've been in this, pretty much, there's been like situations to where a lot of people are constantly looking for one thing. Once they learn how to trade, once they hear about the stock market, it all boils down and reverses back into this one thing, which is they want to basically have somebody trade for you. They always go to either banks. The traditional way is going to your 401k, invest your money into the 401k, and they actually deal with your money and trade it for you. But because, with the new generation kind of taking place and different softwares and technology advancing, I would say, I created a robot to where it actually trades for you. So it puts in the entries, it puts in the stop losses, manages your risk, and it even closes out the trades for you. So it actually removes you from actually trading. It pretty much actually does all the work for you. So the only thing you'll have to necessarily do is, I tell everybody, check it like it's social media, like it's messages, it's like your mom calling, whatever the case is. The app that you're going to be on when you're trading is, you'll like clicking your bank account. You check your account, see if the trade you're in, see if it's in profits. You have the opportunity to put it out if you want, but it also does all the work as well. So
awesome, and I enjoy. That little robot. Only, sometimes it gets me in a trade in the middle of the night, and I wake up and I'm like, whoa! And then sometimes I get up and I'm like,
yeah,
what happened here? So it doesn't necessarily guarantee you. It just basically gets you into a trade, and you just basically still have to monitor it, just like if you would. So that's a great thing, because most of the time people have their biggest struggle with trying to enter into a trade. And I think it's better, because even with finances, trying to get in is good. And if you don't know, it doesn't mean that you can't have other things in place, or 401k and all of those other things are great. But it's good to learn how to trade, so that you can kind of cut out the middleman, and keep more of the profits. I learned that in, just in different things when it comes to just finances, period, that, the banks, they're going to get their cut, honey. They trading your money every day. Yeah. And you might as well be the trader.
Seriously.
Get 100% of the profit. You may not get as much as the bank, because the bank going to put a little bit more, the trade. They're going to have a bigger outcome. I just, think they still need to increase, that level of interest for those that don't. But this is why this is important to learn trading on your own, so that you can cut that middleman out and keep most of the profits. The only thing you really have to really worry about is just paying the broker fees, from the broker that you're on. It's almost like like the water company. It's almost like the water's free, but to access the water is what we pay for. It's almost the same like with trading. The actual trading is free. You just paying for access to these signals, and different brokers have different fees based on what they make available to you. It's crazy how you can I think if air was something that can be where they can make it into a commodity, you'd be paying for air. You'd be like paying like $100, like a regular bill, $100 a month just to be able to breathe, like literally. But Christian, I really am so glad. Thank you so much. I know this is like Sisterhood check-in. I really thank you for just being able to, even though it's Sisterhood check-in, we are helping moms who are parents. So it's right along the same thing. The whole goal is to educate and to help other families and, mainly women. We're not, saying that men can't benefit from it, but it's mainly to help people and educate them in areas that we've learned and where we've grown, and take our experiences and share it, because we might be helping somebody. We don't know. I don't know if I get it in my inbox, then somebody might tell me, hey, this blessed me and stuff like that. So thank you so much for joining me, Christian. I appreciate it. You have any final comments or thoughts that you want to say before we turn off and I go to sleep and do the ministry of sleep?
Yeah, definitely. So, like especially with it being mainly for a woman right now, just I would say always find a solution, never give up, and just keep consistently pursuing it. It doesn't matter, like whether you're doing trading, it can be any particular business that you're in. Always find a solution when it gets hard, or if it gets hard, because it may not get hard, but just always find a solution no matter what. You will be able to get through it no matter what.
Absolutely. And it's amazing because now your brothers are doing it, Jeremiah, Adam are trading, so that's really a good thing. Adam's going to be graduating from high school, and he's been practicing and interning with you pretty much in doing trading. So he's getting good too. I know that, so you guys are I'm really proud of you guys. You guys turned out to be really good. I'm really glad that, that I'm here to witness and see you guys doing your thing. And I pray that the Lord will give me many, many more years to see, how you guys blossom into adults and old people hopefully with some married lives and children, good Lord Jesus. Am I going to be a Mima ever? Like, Lord have mercy. Are y'all going to Christian, are you going to get married one day? Do you feel the Lord? You feel the Lord, pushing you in the direction of marriage and children, marriage and children?
I'm gonna get married one day.
It's no rush, but
yeah.
Hopefully, before hopefully you'll get married and have grandchildren before Bella, so that Bella can actually be old enough to kind of help out. Because right now, Bella is a trip.com. I'm telling you, she's a trip.com. But she, that's my baby though. She a trip.com, but that's my baby. So. All right, Chris. Well, thanks again. I appreciate it. Stay afterwards so we can talk about, we could do our little recap. And guys, thank you so much. Make sure you visit dailytradeswithchris.com to sign up and check out his courses. He's very patient. He's very strategic in how he teaches his strategy. So make sure you go and see dailytradeswithchris.com with Christian Bryant. And if you are a new and inspiring coach, make sure you visit my website at the bottom, www.womanofproverbscoaching.com. We have done for you services where we can actually, create the courses. We have all the courses, materials that you need to start your coaching business, or if you need and we can actually, build your website and have everything set and ready for you so that you can specialize and put all your focus on your clients and not worry about dealing with imposter syndrome. I'm telling you, a lot of us deal with that in the beginning when you're trying to coach is, do I have material that are really helping me, that are really helping the clients? Am I good enough? Am I, do I have enough, experience? We position you to be the expert. So We're not just any type of done for you. We have done for you materials already set up so that all you have to do is just promote, and we can talk about that. You can go for more. You can go check out more information at www.womanofproverbscoaching.com. And we will see you next week. Again, like I said, if you haven't gotten my book, also, I wrote a book during the pandemic, What Happened to Me? How did I get here? You can get that from the website also. Also, if you have a testimony or you have something that you want, if you've experienced something in your life or you have overcome something and you want to share, you want to come on and be a part of Sisterhood Check-In to share your testimony, make sure that you inbox me on Facebook and Instagram to share your testimony, and we will see if it's a good fit for the show, and we will go from there. So until next time, just like I said, I'd always say in each broadcast, just like hurt people, transform people can transform people too. We'll see you next time. Have a blessed day.
What's going on, guys? It's Daily Trades with Chris here. I'm hosting a 7-day webinar for you to understand how to trade the stock market, futures market, and the Forex market. This one particular trading strategy has 3 steps, okay? Very, 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 very simple. All you have to do is look for a trade, place your trade, and watch your trade play out. In this 7-day webinar, I'm going to be going over exactly how to get into the market, where to get out of the market, where to set your stop loss, take profit, and you're going to have a risk management rule in place too as well. Now, this Z trade, in fact, just dropped 400 points on oil. If you do the math on that, that's about $4,000 just from one contract. If you want to learn how to make $4,000 in one single day with the Z trade, respond back to this email right here. Comment below on this video, and I'll get back to you with all the information that you're looking for.
Are you a woman and